Good evening and welcome. My name is John Stansbury. I serve as a supervisor for materials management at Vanderbilt Children's Hospital in Nashville, Tennessee. Tonight I'd like to talk to you about a topic that's very near and dear to my heart. Well, it kind of has to be near and dear to my heart because it's my job, it's my livelihood, and it's what I do on a daily basis. The topic I'd like to talk to you about is just-in-time inventory management systems. Now you may be sitting there thinking, what does just-in-time inventory management systems mean to me? What is it? And how can I even use it? Imagine, if you will, you have a relative that has just been admitted to the hospital. They've just been in an automobile accident and they're being rushed to a local emergency room. Upon your arrival to the emergency room, you notice that the doctors and the nurses are frantically working on your family member. The nurses are pulling medications, the doctors are giving orders on what needs to be done next. And all of a sudden, they stop what they're doing. They stop in all the commotion. They just stop. You think nothing of it because later on they were able to get your family member stable. But later on you ask the nurse, what happened in there? Why did y'all have to stop? Why did you just stop right in the middle? Now some facilities will be able to answer this question, some may not. This nurse chooses to do so. And they tell you that the reason why they had to stop in the middle is because they did not have a supply that they needed to take care of your family member. This is where my team comes in at Vanderbilt Children's Hospital. My staff are charged to ensure that the nurses and the doctors have what they need to take care of a patient when they need it. And we also we do this by utilizing a just-in-time inventory management system. So tonight, you may not understand what a just-in-time inventory management system is. So tonight I would like to talk to you about what is a just-in-time inventory management system. What are some of the advantages? What are some of the disadvantages? And how is this system utilized in the real world? And we'll look at Vanderbilt Children's Hospital because I do know what it is. I do know how to use it. So, what is just-in-time inventory management? Well, according to the website about.com, just-in-time inventory management is the process of ordering and receiving inventory for production, customer sales, customer service, only as it's needed and not before. This means that companies operate with a low inventory levels. This type of strategy helps companies lower their inventory carrying costs. And the goal of a just-in-time inventory management system is to improve the return on investment by reducing non-essential costs. Now, we'll take a look at some of the advantages and some of the disadvantages of an inventory management system, of a just-in-time inventory management system. Just-in-time, according to the Houston Chronicle, in their small business section, just-in-time inventory management systems can save a company money by not holding huge amounts of inventory at one particular time. And by not holding these huge amounts, they can quickly respond to reduced inventory levels. In another article that I found on accountingformanagement.com, by minimizing inventory, a company can reduce the amount of holding space for supplies. And they can also reduce the number of staff required with a just-in-time inventory management system. By doing so, the company can invest the savings that they have, that they've made, into the growth of the business and any other opportunities for that company. Now, with advantages, you have disadvantages. Some of the major disadvantages for a just-in-time inventory management system is management of a company has to rethink the entire workflow of the company when they utilize a just-in-time inventory management system. Also, according to the Houston Chronicle, the same article that I referenced before, if a company's buyer fails to adjust quickly to increase demand, or if suppliers have distribution problems, the business risks upsetting customers with stockouts and running out of supplies. Just-in-time inventory management systems requires a significant coordination between retailers and suppliers in the distribution channel. Now at Vanderbilt Medical Center, we have a wonderful relationship with our distributor, which is Owens & Minor. If we run out of a particular item, we can call them and have that same item to our hospital within 2 to 3 hours. So how does a just-in-time inventory management system work in real life? We'll look at Vanderbilt Children's Hospital. Now, my team supplies the hospital, the inpatient areas of the Children's Hospital, with everything that they need. The supply room, picture if you will, a supply room, a huge supply room that has blue bins in it, and within the blue bins are the items for this particular unit. Now, the supplies for this particular room are based off of the patient population for this unit. You may have an adolescent unit that is using a lot of adult diapers, and then across the floor on another unit you have a different patient population that are using a lot of Pampers. They have smaller kids, they have babies. So in each of these supply rooms, all the supplies in the room are set up with a minimum and a maximum par level. The maximum par level is the max amount of that particular supply we stock in this supply room. The minimum represents the reordering point, and once the inventory for that particular supply gets at or below the minimum, it will reorder that same supply for that day. Now our orders drop at 9:30, and so once our items get below the minimum, it drops into the system, it goes over to another system, and then it is generated onto a PO and shipped out to Owens & Minor. How the items get below the minimum is the key. Nurses will come into the supply room. They have a scan badge, and they'll scan their badge. They come over to the computer screen, they pick the patient that they're taking the item to, and they go to the bin, they scan out the item, and then they log out. Now that item has just been issued to the patient. This helps us with our inventory as long as they scan the items out. If they don't scan the items out, no big deal. Our staff come behind them and we do an inventory of the supply room. So the supplies will come in that night. My night shift puts away the supplies and we start the process all over. So Hopefully tonight I was able to let you know what a just-in-time inventory management system is, give you some of the disadvantages and some of the advantages of this type of system, and also how this system works in real life setting. So the next time you or one of your family members, God forbid, are in a hospital, think about the supplies that the nurses and the doctors are using. Think if they're using a just-in-time inventory management system, and if they are utilizing a just-in-time management system, thank God that they have what you need to take care of you or your family member. I'd like to thank you for your time, and have a good evening.